Do you ever feel like you're in prison? Like your circumstances have you trapped with no way out? In today's video, we're going to look at a man who spent time in prison and how he went from there to the palace. Let's go. In the book of Genesis, chapters 37 through 50, we meet a man named Joseph. Joseph had 11 brothers who were jealous of him because their father, Jacob, loved him more than all of them. One day they sold him into slavery to some traders who took him to Egypt. Now, while this is all tragic, this was actually part of God's plan. See, God had a bigger purpose for Joseph's life, but he had to go through this difficult time first. So after Joseph arrived in Egypt, Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, bought him from the slave traders and eventually became one of Pharaoh's most trusted servants. But as Joseph rose in power, his brothers began to regret what they did to him. They didn't know that Joseph was now second in charge in all of Egypt. Meanwhile, one day Joseph was falsely accused by his boss's wife. She was really just trying to seduce him, but when he turned her down, she got mad and threw him in prison. Now, even though Joseph had done nothing wrong, he was stripped of his rank and thrown into a dungeon where he stayed for 2 whole years. Can you imagine how discouraging that must have been? Joseph had gone from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the valley, but he never gave up hope. He held on to his faith in God, believing that one day things would turn around for him. And they did. After 2 years, the keeper of the prison realized that Joseph was a man of integrity and gave him back his freedom. Then, shortly after, there was a banquet in Pharaoh's palace, and all the top people in the kingdom were invited. And guess who was invited to? That's right, Joseph. And because Joseph was so wise and knew how to interpret dreams, Pharaoh asked him to interpret his dream. Pharaoh had recently had 2 dreams, but no one in his court could tell him what they meant. The first dream was about 7 years of great abundance, followed by 7 years of terrible famine. And the second dream was about 7 healthy cows being devoured by 7 sickly cows. Now Joseph told Pharaoh that both of these dreams meant the same thing, that there would be 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. And the only way to escape the famine would be to store up grain during the 7 good years. So Pharaoh put Joseph in charge of saving grain for the future, and everything went according to what Joseph said would happen. There were 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine, just like Joseph predicted. And during the famine, people from all over the world came to Egypt to buy grain. And guess who came to buy grain? That's right, Joseph's brothers. They didn't recognize Joseph at first, but he knew who they were, and instead of getting angry with them, he forgave them and welcomed them into Egypt. He also gave them jobs and allowed them to stay in the land of Goliath, which was a nice place to live. Then after 11 years, it was time for Jacob and the whole family to come to Egypt, and they all lived happily ever after. So what's the moral of this story? Well, no matter what you're going through right now, don't give up hope. Keep moving forward and keep your eyes on the prize. Just like Joseph, you will one day come out ahead. Also, remember that we should always choose to forgive others, just like Joseph forgave his brothers. And finally, we can trust that God is in control of our lives, even when it doesn't seem like it. Joseph never lost faith in God, and because of that, he was able to fulfill his destiny. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and smash for more contents.